It's time for Cats Talk Wednesday. Small town and big city joined forces. Vinny Hardy of Lynch, Kentucky, and Terry Brown of Louisville, Kentucky, team up to give you free-flowing, laid-back sports talk. Focus on Kentucky Wildcats, as well as pertinent information in the NBA, NFL, and Major League Baseball.
Here we are back on another Wednesday. Cats Talk Wednesday. Terry TB Brown, Vinny Hardy, proud part of the BS3 network. TB, man, how we doing today?
Doing fantastic. Had a great holiday weekend. Was able to go back and visit the family, and my youngest graduated 8th grade. So I now have two high schoolers next year, senior and a freshman. So I don't feel old enough.
Congrats to Lauren. Saw the pictures.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man.
She won her presidential academic awards and all these awards for GPAs and things like that. And I told her good job, but I also had to dig up some of my middle school awards and say, hey, following the old man's footsteps. So she's excited. She's doing great. She's currently training. She's going to play field hockey next year. So she's excited about getting back to field hockey.
Yeah, because she like to dish out a little.
She's rough.
Every now and then.
She's rough. Yeah.
Good deal. Did Sammy have a good ride? Did he ride good like you?
Yeah, he does, man. Since he sleeps 90% of the time anyway, he's fine. But he just will lay there. He'll look out the windows. We let him out at the rest stops, and he does his thing. And yeah, he's a good dog to go riding. He just stays in the back seat. Now my mom spoils him. She made bacon just for Sammy. Make sure he get one piece of bacon a day. And yeah, she makes sure he's okay.
Wow. Hey, Sammy's in good. That's good.
Yeah.
I was telling you, I was up in your city. Had a cousin in the hospital, but I put the tweet out. People probably saw it. I went by the Brown Hotel and got an original hot brown because I had never had one from there. So I just missed you, which I figured was probably the case because it was Monday when I was getting in there, and everybody going back home on Monday. But that was the only day I had to go up there and see my cousin, and was waiting for some of my other cousins to get there, and had a little time to kill. Went and got me a original hot brown from the Brown Hotel, and man, that was. And it got a Louisville lip, a little 4 roses, a little honey, a little lemon. Hey, I was good to go. Now, as you know, me not being as familiar with Louisville, Memorial Day is the bike and hike race, right? It's biking and
hiking. All through downtown and everything like that. Yeah, I don't bike nor do I hike, so that's not my. But I'm aware of it. Yes.
Yeah, and so my cousin. He said he actually did it a few times, but they like reroute it different ways every year. And so me trying to get, because my cousin was in the hospital at U of L right there on South Jackson Street, right by the YMCA. And I was coming from the Brown Hotel. I could see it, but it was blocked off. And so I ended up going in a circle. Made a loop a couple of times, but I couldn't. I could see there, but I couldn't get to there because there was blocked. And so I looped around and parked 5th Avenue, 6th Avenue, somewhere like that. It was kind of quiet downtown. I was the only car on the street. And so I'm just going to walk up to the hospital. And, just had a hot brown. Need to do a little walking anyway. Need to walk off some of that food.
Right.
And so I was joking about that. I said, I burned a calorie or two. My cousin was hitting in town. So I was on about 2nd or 3rd Street. And he stopped and just picked me up, hopped in the car, and he knew how to get around the roadblock, and he got to the hospital parking garage. So then we go and see my uncle after we leave the hospital. And my uncle, my dad's older brother that you met at Sharks for Mama B and all that. And so I'm laughing and joking about how, after I ate all that food, I did at least walk a couple blocks.
Right.
towards the hospital. I burned a couple calories, and then he already told him I had that Louisville lip. He said, "You didn't burn no calories. You just sobered up. That's all you was doing." So he always quick with the wit and talking trash. And all I could do was say, "Touche, Unc. You got me, man. You got me." But enjoyed that hot brown, man. So I had to tell you, you being a brown and all, and
My dad always used to say he's the original hot brown. So
that's right.
again, no shortage of confidence with that one.
No,
But
we got
man.
We got roster news that finally actually happening. We didn't spend our time worrying for these weeks because today's going to come and we're going to know what's going to happen. We didn't 3 weeks ago. Well, Terry ain't got no players yet. Well, Terry still only got 7 on the roster, and now we got some news concerning the roster.
We'll figure it out. I just know that if everybody's gone, it's just the optics are bad.
Yes,
You should be able to retain players and things like that. And I can understand lottery picks leaving, but I do have to scratch my head at, if you're not a lottery pick, why not come back? That's just me. But again, I'm not going to tell anybody how to live their life. That's a case that Cal and his staff has to make, right?
Yeah.
They've got to re-recruit these guys. So, but at the end of the day is this. On the trip from Iowa to Kentucky, me and the lovely Kate, we talked about this. As a fan, there's only so much you can do. Whether it's professional or college, there's only so much you can do. Right? This is not to say that you can't have an opinion and all this kind of stuff. I just can't get bent out of shape. I'm going to assume that Cal knows going to a season with 7 players probably is not the move, right? That's the assumption I'm going to make.
Yeah.
Now, how we get from May 31st to November, I don't know, right? But that's just my assumption. But even if he's like, we just got these 7 players, I'm still going to watch.
Yeah.
So me being upset, what does that do?
Yeah, I'm with you. I've said that on here. Said don't believe in Kentucky. Me worrying isn't going to change anything, but it does. I'm with you. It does look bad that if you are that like Reeves, if he leaves Kentucky for another university, and I kind of stay in the middle. I'm not like Cal can do no wrong. I'm not like fire Cal, but when you, and this is it, he loves to tell us, folks, I've done this a long time. Well, I don't know, maybe you've been in this situation and you cool with what's going on right now. Maybe you panicking a little bit yourself, but that's you in that seat, and it's up to you to try to use your experience and knowledge and put it together the best way you see fit. Maybe it ain't going how he thought. Maybe he's cool. We'll know soon enough. But he loves to tell us, folks, I've been doing this a long time. Well, we gonna see.
Here. Yeah, and that's all I can say is we'll see. I don't know how this turns out. I didn't know it from the end of the Kansas State game to now. But I also didn't know what we were doing last offseason or the offseason before that. I don't know. So again, I'm not saying that Cal's infallible. I've never said that. That's how it gets portrayed by some folks. If you say that Cal doesn't deserve to be fired, then you're carrying his water for him and all this kind of stuff. I'm just saying, let's just see. Because you don't know. You don't know. So I have a feeling we're going to have more than 7 players. I do feel confident in saying that. But the one big announcement, Oscar is gone. Oscar Tshiebwe.
Staying in the draft.
Hey, go pursue your dreams. He did everything we could ask. I think year 2, this past season, we were able to focus on his flaws a lot more. while he was still, leading the country in rebounds.
Yeah.
And the one thing with Oscar, never thought that he was not given maximum effort. Even with his flaws, the effort was always there, right?
Yeah.
And so there's that. I did a little tweet thread. The thing about Oscar, the first big game against Duke, he went for 17 points and 20 rebounds. And I think you and I said, like, well, that's great. That's fantastic. I don't think he's going to be able to continue to do this. And yay, verily, he's getting 30 and 20, just rolling out of bed with a double-double before the last TV timeout in the first half. I mean, I don't think we need to minimize what we saw both years, right?
Yeah.
Just this past tournament, he finished third in total rebounds and only played 2 games.
Yep. So rebounding like we'd never seen before.
Not in our lifetime, right? And so, obviously, being National Player of the Year, first unanimous National Player of the Year, that's the kind of person you tell your player you tell your kids about, right? You should have seen this guy play. He was fantastic, right? Which also leads to something I bring up all the time because it still makes no sense. I don't know how jerseys get retired at Rupp. I don't know the process. All I'm saying is we're a few short years away from going into Rupp Arena and not seeing Oscar's name, not seeing Tyler Eulis, I think should get consideration for Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, All-American. He was Player of the Year in the SEC, obviously. No Anthony Davis. No Player of the Year, John Wall. No All-American. I think Willie Cauley-Stein was All-American one year, but Keith Bogans. No All-American Ron Mercer. No Final Four Most Outstanding Player Jeff Shepard. Again, Oscar Combs and those folks that are plugged in know way more about that than I do. And I understand there's rules and guidelines, right? There's criteria. However, you can't tell me we've gone 25 years of Kentucky basketball history with, in that 25 years, a little bit more, I'm going to say 3 championships, right? 7 Final Fours, right?
From 98.
I'm going from 96. I'm throwing 96
in there. Yeah.
96, 97. I kind of group all those together.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
The Final Fours, of course, all the SEC, and we ain't have one person. Not one.
Yeah, they got.
Because your man, Tony Delk's the last person to go up, and he last played in 96.
Yep. They got.
So we ain't had nobody meet the criteria.
Gotta have some revisions.
I'm just saying the optics of not having that is just mind-boggling. It's just, how does this work?
Gotta have some revisions for sure. Speaking to somebody that knows Tony Delk, hangs out with him all the time. He's backstage, and he has been on this show. We lost count. TB comes on here. It was March Madness, the start of the playoffs. Now the playoffs are almost over. We got the finals. The finals finally starting tomorrow. After Denver been off for about 2 months, they could have went on vacation with this guest and come back and still prepped for game 1 tomorrow. Talking about JR, the Bossman, host of the Bossman Show, and y'all ain't gonna believe the hat he has on right now. I'm a little bit surprised. Wow. JR, man, what's up?
What's up, brothers? This is the vacation hat, brothers. How y'all doing?
Got the bucket hat on. I love it, man.
Vacation hat, the vacation shades on because it is still my vacation. I don't go back to work until September 25th, so I'm enjoying life, brothers.
There you go. Yeah, oh, excuse me. I was surprised to see the Hawks logo on the hat though. Oh, okay.
Well, today is a different day because Oscar Tshiebwe was actually in Atlanta working out for the Hawks. If you already know,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
so because of that, I decided to, bring some of that UK love from this to there. So,
We always appreciate it. It's always good to have you on, JR.
And I got told y'all before, I was a ball boy in that big game that Tony Delk had, Arkansas and Kentucky at the Georgia Dome. I was a ball boy for that.
Man,
I was right there on the court.
So what was your responsibilities that day? I mean, you had to.
I was right there. I was right at the far baseline, had the towels, get a referee look at the little, little Gatorade bottle. I had to tell my little homeboy, do not grab the ball while it's live. Don't do that.
That's important. That's important.
But no, since now they don't have the ball boys behind the goal no more. That doesn't change. We sit right there, right next to the basket. That doesn't change.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like I told my brother, don't grab the ball while I'm live. So I was an NCCC tournament ball boy pro, brothers.
Man, that's a good thing to have on a resume, man. That's all right.
Yeah, it started me off to my career path now, joining you guys every Wednesday. Also, I was talking about sports. Who would have thought from a ball boy to being on Cats Talk Wednesday once a month?
Yeah,
that's what it's always about. Always glad to have you on, JR.
Mm-hmm.
So as we get ready for these finals, well, let's talk about the playoffs to this point. Like we know, Trey DeBarge and the Hawks, but looking back at just the playoffs to this point, what's your kind of rundown on what we've seen?
Man, I will tell you what, it's some parity in this league. This new CBA's even more parity, and you have to decide how much you're gonna spend to keep your team together, because Denver is very top heavy. This new CBA guys, you cannot build your roster the old way. It gets very tight on you. No level exceptions left if you're over the tax like the Nuggets are. You have to draft well, and you have to also sign guys on the minimum well. And teams like Milwaukee are now in a crossroads with Middleton, player option, Drew Holiday getting older, Brook Lopez a free agent. The Heat are in trouble as well. They're already over the second apron with Hero, Butler, Adebayo. Having 3 max guys on your roster is gonna make it hard. So what I'm seeing is thinking in my head, who will we get some guys offloaded to duck this second apron tax and to spread the talent out more in the league. And so we kind of saw it already, and I feel like, the Lakers, your team has got to make some decisions as well about the roster. Memphis, how much do you pay Desmond Bane? Is he a max guy or not? Because you got Morant on the max, but that's going to come money created back to you. Jackson's on the declining contract, but Desmond Bane comes up to mind as well. Also, a team like the Hawks are in trouble as well. Like I told you that before. Salary-wise, you're in trouble. James Harden with the Sixers. And now you have hired Nick Nurse, the knee killer, but he kills knees. Dude plays guys 35 minutes a night, man. And I mean, on back-to-backs. Now he's not believing in local management. The Knicks. It's a time that might offload Randall having to pay Josh Hart and quickly. So for me, Terry, it looks like this, man. I'm watching it from the perspective of how the roster going to look come August, September. And the parity is there now. But what happens with the CBA kicks in July and all these guys start to get traded and move as teams try to duck this new second apron tax is coming July 1st.
Tell everybody about the aprons. Like you mentioned it, but tell because that's kind of a newer term when it comes to this kind of stuff. What are these aprons?
Okay, so luxury tax comes in at 162 for this next season. So say for instance, you're over the first apron, which is the first tax, right? You lose certain things. You have a taxpayer level exception. You can only trade out like 110% rather than more than 125% of trades for his time match salaries. So that's one apron. The second apron is 179. If you're over that number, your first round draft pick gets pushed towards the back. Okay, if you over the apron multiple years, you don't have your $5 million taxpayer exception. You can't sign and trade. You can't sign people on the buyout market. And in trades, you're going to send out 110 rather than 175 in a trade, the max salary, or aggregate the money. So it very much limits you on how you can build your roster. So I was be honest with you. CJ McCollum and Grant Williams petty selves targeted Golden State, the Clippers, and the Nets about this. And the small owners who went for this, like 45 in Charlotte, Memphis, OKC, Utah, it's going to backfire because now you have to pick who you pay. Like Houston, OKC, all these draft picks. You have to pick who you pay. And it's kind of better the NFL. It's pretty much a hard cap, guys. Second apron is pretty much like a hard cap. And McCollum, I'm trying to sell it like it's not a hard cap. It's pretty much acts as a hard cap. If you go by an apron, you can't really build your team the way you used to.
And so I remember reading about this as it was come about, and we've touched on it before with you. As an NBA fan, does this make sense for the NBA? The NBA, I know parity is what the buzzword everybody wants, like how the NFL has it. But that's not how the NBA works. The NBA is about, we got this team that people are shooting for. That's outside of the bizarre 70s where the Bullets won and the Sonics won and some things like that, it's been, the Minneapolis Lakers, the Boston Celtics, the Lakers and Celtics of the 80s, the Bulls and the Rockets of the 90s. Like, what are we doing? I just don't think it makes sense to try to spread this. I don't know what the NBA is trying to do because this isn't how your league is built.
McCollum them are petty, and they're mad they got beat by the Warriors, and because they're trying to eliminate super teams. And so if you draft well, you're penalized like Golden State. Only players they got via non-draft was Durant and Wiggins. Now, Iguodala's already there organically, right? So then you're getting punished for building is signing your own guys, right? So look at it like this, TB. Like this. So the Celtics now have to decide: do we give Brown 5 years, 295 on Supermax, and Tatum 5 years, 318? Now, Grant, you can do that, but you can't build your roster around them very well. So be all minimums. And also, in doing this horrible deal McCollum did, guys, they cut out the middle class of the NBA.
Yeah.
It's going to be either you're going to be a max guy or a minimum guy. The middle, because when you have this quasi hard cap, you're squeezing somebody. It's the guys in the middle.
Right. And it's the stars are going to get money.
Yes.
Because even at a max deal, the stars are underpaid.
Yes.
Even, if you get Steph at 30 million, and I don't know what his salary is.
51.
But that's still under, what
with
he's
value
the value
organization. Yes.
Yeah, right. He's bringing that value, right? Because if you remember, like Michael Jordan's last couple of years, the Bulls, where he was making 25, 20, whatever. It's like, wow. I'm like, yeah, but what he's doing for the Bulls in general is way more than that, right?
Yes.
So those guys are going to get paid. And as we've seen, you need two, right? You need two studs to win an NBA title for the most part, right?
Yes.
We look at all the teams that have won, the outliers like the 04 Pistons. You're like, okay, they didn't really have two, but you need two to compete. So
Correct.
Now you've got to figure out, like you're saying with the Celtics, we can pay these two, but we got to figure out the rest of this on the fly.
Yeah, all you can do is sign guys to the minimum. If you have two guys on a Supermax contract with Brown and Tatum, Brown's is 5 years, 295. Tatum is 5 years, 318. So all you can do is pretty much draft well and sign minimums.
And Vinny, that's the old Lakers mantra. Give me two dudes and we'll figure it out.
Yeah, this CBA is a mess, brothers. I'm telling you, my phone's been blowing up. So a lot of surprise trades coming as teams try to offload money.
How many years is this new deal going to be for until they get a chance to
2029, 30, unless they opt out in 28, 29. But this is going to backfire on everybody, brothers. I'm here to tell you. It's going to backfire on everybody. That skinny and grinning clown McCollum, I could slap his damn mouth. You know what I'm saying?
He going to catch a few flagrants going down the lane once they realize what's
happening. Bro, let me tell you what the vote was. 227, 223.
Wow.
So you see already people weren't really with it.
And again, I just don't see how the NBA makes, because this is not how they operate. There's always a super team.
All the owners are mad at Golden State and Balmer and Joe Tsai in Brooklyn because they spend their money. The owners don't want to spend money, including Mark Cuban. He's very cheap.
And well, we've talked about it before. Is I think people would be surprised how many of these teams winning a championship is not the goal.
No,
they're trying to make money, but winning a championship, if it happens, great. If not, I mean, that as a fan, that makes no sense. But these dudes making billions, they want to keep making these billions.
Yeah, and like, watch this. In Atlanta, I'm just be real with you. When you have Chico DeBar's salary, what it is, you're gonna make some hard decisions. Think about this. We're already $8 million over the tax, and we ain't even done nothing yet. Right now. So you got to decide to sign a Kongwu back, Sadiq Bey back. At what cost? Lose to DeJounte Murray? This new CBA makes it hard with finances on everybody. And with the contracts we're giving out to people like Collins, Hunter, Bogdanovich, it's going back. The reckoning's coming. Where's one example? Memphis is another example. How much you give Desmond Bane?
And so we're going to end up with a bunch of teams that are just mid-tier.
Like
there's not going to be any great teams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what they want. Because
whoever develops the best,
yes,
what they get
become paramount now. First round draft picks have become more valuable now, especially for those teams who are over that second apron tax, because you can't build your team.
What's dumber, this new CBA, like you said, pretty much headed up by CJ McCollum, or
and Grant Williams, dumbass,
or Adam Silver's mid-season tournament idea? Which one makes less sense?
Shit, that's 1A and 1B.
I mean,
but actually allowing the owners to put you pretty much at a hard cap as you're a player, that's dumb as can be. Like, I'm serious about that.
Yeah.
Like, the NBA always gonna say we want a hard cap, but then we negotiate off of it. Oh, we have this new tax, the upgraded room exception. Wow, sounds good. But if you ain't got no cap room, it don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? This the net non-taxpayer level exception, guys. Okay, I'm gonna tell you about that. If you spend more than $5 million of your tax mid-level exception, you're hard capped. You can't do a sign and trade deal. So all these little things that they tout, like the second round exception, then that'll help the Lakers. That will help them out for sure. The Lakers are known for not only offering 2-year deals there to second round picks. This allows you to do 4 years up to the veteran minimum for a second round draft pick. That will help. But there's more bad than good. And it was only targeted at 3 teams. And that's the problem with this CBA. It was targeted to overcorrect 3 teams who wasn't suspending money because they had money. If you're Michael Jordan, Clay Bennett in OKC, Ryan Smith in Utah, the Allen family in Portland, okay, you can't spend. But don't take it out on everybody else because you want to be cheap. Or Spurs, not spend any money.
And that's why the baseball union, because they never rock with anything coming close to a cap. They if it seems like a cap, they're not doing it, right? because they know your stars are going to make money, but you have to take care of everybody else.
Yes.
And
the middle class got hurt in the CBA.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those cut off your nose to spite your face. That's a little.
And because you
there.
mad because they beat you,
right? That's
what
can't be changing stuff because of being reactionary because they run their organization better than you.
Yeah,
that do better. Try to run yours as good as them, or make more shrewd moves instead of just, like you said, just punishing the whole league because Golden State is being efficient. Bob Myers is doing a good job. Speaking of that, Bob Myers just stepped down. How different are the Warriors going to look this coming off season? I mean, he was the architect to the dynasty. You talked about drafting well and all that. I mean, he outside of KD and like you said, he put all those pieces in place. How different will the Warriors look this fall?
I know why he got out. He won't be the one to tell Draymond and Clay, you're not getting what you want. That's part of the reason why he didn't want to get out. And he did not want to be, you know how some people talk about the Bulls should have stayed together. No, they shouldn't have. That was only last legs. The last dance should have been the last dance. You come out the lockout, they was gonna get destroyed. 99 Bulls were. They came back. He does not want to be that guy. He's not want to be in the position of Jerry Krause was, bro. And the gun goes saying is this, man. Klay Thompson, I love you. 2 years, 60. I'm not doing Draymond. 3 years, 90. Okay, fine. But at what cost? Because that cost you Jordan Poole. Now, I know he played like trash, but you saw those reports coming out, guys. He didn't talk to that dude all year. It was basketball. That they never recovered from that right there, man. And Bob Myers can talk to their better angels. And I understand that too. And I do feel like, hey, I'm down with you. Draymond Green, if I Steph Curry, I want him off my team. Because you chum me up to the enemy too much. You know what I'm referring to? The enemy in LA. Your boy.
Yeah.
You didn't play hard as you. What was that pass you had against the Kings? Against them? It wasn't there. That's your boy? You had the same passion? The same dude who cried to the NBA office and got cost us a championship, got you suspended. Then you riding like this. If I was Steph, he gotta go.
But
you want me
to if you're Steph, are you able to kind of transition to that place where it may not be about the championships anymore?
He still wants to win, unfortunately, with those two guys.
Yeah, he's loyal
to his detriment. But one of them ain't loyal to you though. One of them, bro. Did you see the same pass he played against Sacramento against the Lakers? Is it the same guy?
Because him and Fox was talking the whole series.
Yeah, but with the Lakers, it was like, I'm on my best behavior. I'm a church mouse. I'm gonna be on my best behavior. I'm playing my king. Really?
Interesting.
I couldn't respect that. Around my phone, around the league, this is my league phone. We've been discussing how dude looked like he was like sanitized by playing his boy.
So that's when you know you're big time. You got a league phone, TB. You got a league phone.
I got a regular phone.
Yes. This is why I can tell you what league sources tell me.
Got a league phone. Got to Chris Haynes and Shams and Woj phone. That's who
Hey, bro. Hey, Chris Haynes. That dude, I don't like that dude, Vinny. I'm gonna tell you why. Tell you why. This dude I was talking about league sources, bro. The press release came out. We all got the same damn email, bro. No league sources. Like, bro, that's the same email came out. Talk about league sources or a prominent player on the Lakers. You mean LeBron James told you, bro? I mean, all that it's all annoying to me. Like Chris Haynes and Shams on Clutch's payroll, okay? Woj is CAA, like Cal is. Like that, it's like, but see, bro, I know what I'm on. Bossman, league phone. That's what I'm on. Got the same information and give it to y'all for free. I ain't gotta tell you leagues. I'm telling you, I know because I know.
Yeah. Well, TB, I know you got it. I know you want to get up on these Celtics because
yes, let's do that.
The first city in hockey and in NBA to lose a game 7 at home. The Bruins and the Celtics both just did that in the past couple weeks. So,
Benny, I'm gonna tell you, I know TD played there, Tony Delk, but he knows and I know this, man. I'm sorry. When I go to Boston, I get called darky, N-word, monkey. That ain't cool. So I'm cool with them getting beat.
Tony said he did say this that because he hates the cold weather. We talked about him playing 82 games in a season. He said it happened when I was in Phoenix because I felt good and it was warm. He said the minute the season was over in Boston, his stuff was packed and he was out of that hotel to the airport immediately. Every time the season would end when he was playing in Boston, he was going to Phoenix as soon as the final buzzer sounded. So he didn't stay up there longer than he had to either. That was his words.
Yes.
I'm glad. Look, my Lakers lost. That's fine. It was, Denver's a much better team. Vinny and I talked about this last week. I can't even be too upset because Joker is that dude. And Murray decided to ball.
That hole behind the head.
Somebody hitting shots like that. What do you do, right? So I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But Boston losing the way they lost, that'll keep me warm at night because Boston losing is just
and got the fans' hopes up. Oh, we back. We gonna do what the Red Sox did. No, you're not.
No, you're not. You took an L, and I'm glad.
And the thing about Boston is, yes, they're a little young, but that core has been together for a long time.
They've been together for a long time. Nah, they ain't that young because who they playing are been together. Horford, Tatum, Brown, Smart. Those guys been a part of it. Williams, throw him in there too. Then Derek White's a little new to the game, so it's Brogdon. He's only playing 7 guys. You know what I'm saying?
But the thing is, they do stupid stuff in the fourth quarter of games and drop games they shouldn't lose.
Let me tell you what is, TB. There's no movement. It's just your turn, my turn. You run to a spot. There's no action. There's no pin down. There's no spang. There's no split. There's nothing. It's just, hey, 5 out, run to a spot, throw you the ball. I might bring it out, hoping to sit on the ball screen really fast. Or if I don't do that, you make a move one-on-one, and then you throw a zone at them. They're going to start jacking up threes. They can't beat the zone offense.
It's just amazing because we hear all this. They've been in all these game 7s. That's a lot of game 7s.
Why? Because they're
hardware.
Yeah, but also because they're not disciplined guys.
Yeah.
And Mazzulla tries to he outthinks himself. Even against the Hawks guys.
Yeah.
Games 1 and 2, he played 1 through 5 switching scheme. In game 3, you start playing drop coverage. And what does Chico DeBarge do the best against? Drop coverage with this little floater game. We hadn't beat you playing switching. But in game 3, randomly you started playing switching? Drop coverage? What do you? So Mazzulla, even Stan Van Gundy said this on the broadcast, that you can't anticipate their adjustments. Just do it till they make you not do it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That just seems the most basic thing in sports. Like, just keep doing it until they make you change. Don't give up your advantage for what?
Yes, he was definitely trying to anticipate adjustments and mess up his whole team's flow.
But I'm glad because I don't like Boston. So,
New addition.
I'm glad too.
New addition. Only thing you like from Boston, TB?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Look, Boston is like UCLA. They had a good run way back when, but that 108 title, get that leprechaun out of my face.
Celtics, thank you for my vacation. I wanted it earlier, but thank you for the vacation. But I still hate you.
Get that leprechaun out my face.
We talked about this last week, JR. It should have been Philly and Miami anyway, right? Philly should have knocked Boston out if they
Philly should have won in Game 6.
If they had any discipline about themselves, they should have out toughed Boston, and it should have been a Sixers Heat Conference Finals. But
yes, it should have been. But Doc Rivers is a known choker. Y'all know that.
Yeah.
Glenn is a known choker.
Hey, if he can be up 3-2, he'd be the GOAT. But
if it's a 5-game series, he'll be the best ever.
He can be up 3-2 in a minute, but that game 6 and 7 is kryptonite, boy.
I remember he blew that lead. Remember he blew that lead to the Detroit Pistons in Orlando. You remember that?
Yeah.
Tracy McGrady.
Yeah.
3-1 against the Pistons. He blew that lead.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with T-Mac.
And that was the beginning. He was just getting started. We didn't know all this was
I'm
coming.
just getting warmed up.
Yes, hey. I got another one. That meme. I got another one in me, like Vince Carter. Another one in me. That Vince Carter meme. I got another one in me.
And I like Doc. I do. But it's after this track record, the championship was the exception to the rule.
Bro, he got so lucky. He got carried that championship by them 4 guys.
That was the aberration. The title was the aberration, and I hate to say that, but
same with Bud in Milwaukee. Aberration. Look at him; he's fired. Monty Williams end up in Detroit, guys. That's what this is. The phone tells me Monty Williams end up in Detroit. So
is that a good fit for young Cade and that bunch?
I mean, he's a good teacher he's a good teacher, but he can get stale very fast for his schemes. And you see with Aiden, he can get very petty too sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Nice man, very nice man. He can get very stale in schemes and get petty at time with players.
What about Nick Nurse in Philly?
He gonna kill Joel Embiid's knees. Joel Embiid, my man, get ready for icing your knee. This man gonna play you 40 minutes a night on back-to-back.
So you're saying he got some Thibodeau in him?
A lot of Thibodeau in him, bruh. The Raptors starting 5, I'll average 35 minutes and above in minutes.
And look, it's Cats Talk Wednesday TV. We talk about the Cats. Former Cat, Dwayne Casey laid a lot of groundwork for Nick Nurse to get that title.
Yes, he did.
After Casey leaves, then they moved to Rosen for Kawhi and all of that, and it kind of falls in Nick Nurse's lap.
Kawhi Leonard. Let's put it on Kawhi Leonard. Got him that title. Kawhi Leonard, who didn't want to be there.
And Casey won 60 games a year. He got fired.
Yes, coach of the year.
Games. Yeah, so
coach of the year. He got fired.
Just throwing.
Dwayne Casey, former Cat. Yes, I do. Dwayne Casey is a very nice man. Very nice man. Dwayne Casey. Yeah, brothers, I tell you what, man, it's gonna be interesting. There's NBA draft coming up too, man. The finals is coming up. Look, I got Denver in 6.
That's kind of where I'm at.
The NBA wants to go. The NBA was so happy though, bruh. Look at the official assignments as I tell you. Look at the official assignments. Mm-hmm. They definitely wanted certain things to happen.
Oh yeah, we know when Scott Foster shows up.
Tony Brothers, John Goble, David Guthrie, Mark Davis, all the extenders out there.
What about the official they think has a burner account on
Eric
Twitter?
Lewis? Bruh, how your account gonna follow NBA officiating your wife, bro? You just stupid. You gotta hide it better than Eric Lewis. Come on. And Eric Lewis is the MEAC conference officiating czar. Can you believe that?
Mm.
The MEAC, of course, has him as his officiating czar. But yes, bruh, he followed his wife, who was a coach at some school, women's coach, and the NBA, bruh. You registered the account under your AOL account name, bruh. You gotta come better than that, my brother. Burner game, you have to come up with a fake email name, not your own, Joker. Not follow people who you close to. You know what I'm, bruh? Like, common sense ain't common, my guys.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely.
You ain't fooling nobody.
Cats Talk Wednesday. At least this show is normal. I suppose it's normal.
We try our best.
We try our best.
That's right.
I support. I support y'all burner accounts, the trash Cal and Mark Stoops that y'all do it on the burner account, not cast top wins on your own. I'm praying what y'all do.
That's right. Yeah, we try our best to be normal. Sure.
Yes, I appreciate
Absolutely.
that. No, because normalcy is good in this world today, but I don't see normalcy with Eric Lewis though, bro. It's funny, and Eric Lewis family are Boston fans too. Think about that. Think about that, guys too. But nah, man, it's funny, man. It's funny out here in these streets, brothers. It really is. But I'll tell you what, like I told you on doing a segment right now. CBA gonna cause a lot of moves to be happening. We got to decide if I'm Denver, I'm gonna keep my starting five together and go forward. They'll probably lose Brown. He's making next year $7.8 million. He'll make more than that on the open market.
Yeah.
Miami Heat, Tyler Hero. I'm gonna trade that dude. I'm not about to be in. And Gabe Vincent, he don't get paid.
Caleb Martin gonna get paid too, boy.
But they got him on a good deal already.
Oh,
the 2025.
And speaking of, see, we talked about organizations making good decisions and being well ran. How does Charlotte got to feel watching Caleb Martin do that? They waived him, and here he is. The Heat's, the Hornets trash end up being the Heat's treasure, and look what he's doing for them on this playoff run. So,
and shout out to J. Cole, who called Karan Butler to tell him about Mr. Martin.
And he played. I mean, he was good at Nevada. Him and his brother both. They had a little tournament run with Musselman before he went to Arkansas. So I mean,
and that's why the Charlotte Hornets are what they are.
Yeah,
a train wreck. It's functional because that's what happens. Michael Jordan comes in and makes these executive decisions. Like I'll give you a story. James Borrego, the former coach there, he asked, could he bench LaMelo Ball? They told him no. LaMelo was not playing defense. Missing assignments, missing rotations. Can we bench him and hold him accountable? They told him no. How's it going to get better?
How can you coach your team if you got to ask to even do that anyway?
Exactly.
Wow.
You would be surprised in the NBA how much that goes on with the dysfunctional teams. And like in Houston, they hired Ime Udoka, right? Fine.
Yeah.
They have a mandate to win now.
From who? Tillman?
The ownership. Tillman for Cheatham.
Well, you better.
So that means you're going to sign veterans like a James Harden maybe to a max deal, somebody else to celebrate the rebuild because he wants them to win. And the Raphael Stone front office now wants to win. See, OKC's building it the right way. They've been patient.
If homeboy can stay healthy,
doing it the right way.
Homeboy can stay healthy. Chet can stay healthy.
Yeah, that's why I'm worried about old Wemby. A little bit too lanky for my liking.
Yeah. String beans coming in here, man.
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying you can't rush the rebuild, guys. But these owners we got to win now. Okay. If you commit to tanking, let the tank finish its tanking.
Right. Yeah. Don't change up.
You can't get halfway through and then try to switch it up.
Yeah.
That's not how this works.
You can't pause. If you tank it, you cannot pause the tank. Let the tank continue to tank.
Yeah, all right.
You can't pause the tanking. So yeah, man, this league is crazy, brothers. I watched this next June. Watch it, the draft and the trades you hear, the things you're gonna hear. Watch it. Because see, usually you would do trades and make them go after free agency. The CBA kicks in July 1st. So look for a lot of activity trade-wise on draft night that will go through to beat this new CBA.
Right. Well, it'll be more about finances than that'll be driving all this stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, it's all financial moves. Not as David Stern coined the phrase for TB's Lakers, basketball reasons.
Still mad about that.
The infamous David Stern. Why did you do this, Mr. Chris? Basketball reasons.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah, so that's what's coming up, guys. Financial reasons. Yeah. And hey, McCollum, let me help you with something. You know, Zion's on a max deal, so is B.I., Brandon Ingram. You're making $30 million a year. Could your own little petty rule mess you up too? The irony of that.
Mm-hmm.
Could you be offloaded because of your number, sir?
But like you said, 227 to 223. That's pretty much 51 for 49. And so like you said, people aren't happy, aren't thrilled. It barely got pushed through. No, I mean the owners are like, hey, CJ, hey. But
yes. Yes, he did not fight because think about it, bro. I don't want to kill all your time. NBA PA. I'm gonna tell y'all who did this deal. Let me tell y'all who NBA PA leadership. I want you to see this, brothers. Who made this horrible rule? Who did it? See, Cats Talk wins are giving you leads, insider stuff. Lead. I'll tell you, Cats Talk. Here we go. McCollum, president. Sorry, Grant Williams, vice president. Harrison Barnes. Come on now. He's a treasurer. Bismack Biyombo. Malcolm Brogdon.
Is he still in the league? Biyombo yes. Still in the league?
Phoenix, yes.
Oh, okay.
Brown with the Celtics. Jaren Jackson Jr. with the Grizzlies. Donovan Mitchell and Garrett Temple.
Wow.
These 9 jabronis led by McCollum pushed this garbage through.
Who voted them to the positions that they hold, though?
The NBA players did at All-Star break.
Yeah, right. See? I mean,
like, what were y'all thinking?
I mean, look at
there are no stars on if you call Brown star, okay. There's no real like stars on this leadership panel to talk about the league, and there's no Chris Paul who has his own issues too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But these jokers, hey, Biyombo, Barnes, you're the middle class.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You hurt yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we'll talk about this thing. You text me real quick. I was trying to figure out how to share it on here, but I couldn't get the file. But you sent me the NBA's highest paid mascots. You text me, and it's the top 5.
Mm-hmm.
I never even thought about this. Didn't even, had no idea what they make ever. But number 1, which kind of surprised me. Well, first of all, what's the veterans minimum right now for the NBA? What's the
let me see. NBA veteran minimum. I can tell you if you want to say NBA veteran minimum. Okay, here we go. Let me tell you. $9.53 for a rookie.
$9.53 for a rookie. Okay.
Yes.
All right. And so highest paid mascots, I was trying to figure out how to share it. I couldn't. But Rocky, the mountain lion for the Western Conference champion Denver Nuggets, making $625,000 a year. 2/3 of the way to the rookie minimum. I'm like,
we're in the wrong business, obviously.
I had no clue that the mascot made that. Your very own Harry the Hawk comes in number 2 for Atlanta, making $600,000 a year. 3, we get a little bit of separation now. Benny the Bull making $400,000 a year. 4, an absolute travesty. This is disrespectful as it gets. Go the Gorilla for the Phoenix Suns. Been out there being a mascot longer than we've been alive. Is only making $200,000 a year. Now that's like one of the OG mascots. Philly Fanatic, the Gorilla. He should be making more than $200,000. And finally, number 5, we talked about the Hornets, how dysfunctional they are. Hugo the Hornet is making $100,000. That's the top 5 highest paid NBA mascots.
And the Hawk and the Nugget makes more than the 2-way players make.
Yeah, that's what
2-way guys are 5'12" max.
So you got your 41 home games. I'm like, okay, you got 41 home games. You got preseason games.
2 or 3.
If you make the playoffs, which Denver and
the
did,
Hawks did with so that's for us. It was 46 for him.
you got stuff you got to do in the community. You got photo shoots. You got to be here and be there. You got to go at a ribbon cutting or go to the school. But $625,000 for Rocky the Mountain Lion, man, you got to be in shape to run around and shoot shirt cannons to the crowd and dunk off the trampoline, right? I assume that kind of stuff.
Yes. And climb on top of the stands and do defense. Defense.
You can't forget about defense.
Yeah, hitting it up. Defense.
$625,000. I had no idea that they was making that much.
I'll do it for half that.
That's what, yeah.
Bruh.
Do the Rockets have a mascot?
Yeah, I forget his name. But he ain't in the top 5 though.
He ain't in the top 5. But
the rest of them, if Hugo the Hornet is 5th at $100K, everybody else is yeah.
Hey, we have a mascot strike, Vinny. We gotta have a mascot CBA site.
The gorilla should be making way more because he's been doing it for years. That's an iconic mascot and only making $200,000. Rocky making 3 times as much as the gorilla. That ain't right.
Man, look, they're gonna have a mascot strike or a mascot CBA agreement. I guarantee it's coming. I just came out today. Yeah,
just don't let the CJ McCollum mascots be doing the deal for you.
You got that right. Hey, let me do the deal for you, mascots. I'll get you the best deal possible, man. McCollum doing what he's doing, bro. It's crazy.
But man, I just want to throw it out there. I appreciate you sending that, and that's if I could figure out how to share a screen, I would have done it for those watching on the Roku. But maybe next time. But man, JR, taking time out of your vacation.
We appreciate it as always.
And drop knowledge. I hope it's a nice, smooth vacation. Hope September 25th don't come too fast where you can actually catch your breath and relax.
Yeah, that's media day, which means I got to be around Chico the bar just to make me sick.
That's first day at work, boy. That's
I hate you still. That ain't changed over the summer. I still hate you. That never gonna change. I like Vinny and TB better than you ever like you.
We'll take it. Appreciate you, man. Can't thank you enough.
Hey, bro, I will tell you this. He watches your show when I come on here.
Huh?
He watches the show when I come on here.
How you know that?
He hate watches. He tells me about it.
We certainly appreciate it. I ain't trying to start no fights now.
He hate watches what I do, guys. I'm telling you, he hate watches me on your show. I love it though. I love it. Hey, shout out to you, Chico. See you 25th of September.
Be cool, JR, man.
Hey, I'll see y'all. I'll talk to you down the road, brothers.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
All right.
Bossman Show, JR the Bossman, just giving us plenty every single time, man. So
yeah, I really, like I said, I don't understand the NBA's motivation because that's just not their model. It's going to be the 5th year in a row with a different champion, which has never happened in NBA history. It's always the team of the decade, the dynasty. Even when we moved off that a little bit, and it was the Lakers and the Spurs that won 10 out of 15 titles. Like that's what it is. So I just, because you need that. The NBA, it depends on who's in the finals. For people to watch. It's more dependent on that than the Super Bowl. People can watch the Super Bowl, whatever. Like people watch that 10-3 Super Bowl against, when it was the Rams versus
New England. I kept waiting for something to happen. I just kept, something's going to happen here in a minute. The numbers are going to
be there, right? Now that changes a little bit, right? The championship games, whenever the Cowboys and 49ers play, things spike. Right. But, the conversation when the conference finals started is like, the NBA would like to have Lakers Celtics series. Yeah, absolutely they would. Like, yes. Yes. because then you can bring out all the Laker greats and the Celtic greats. Absolutely. But if you are in the NFL, it doesn't matter.
I mean, Kansas City, Tampa Bay, that's not killer markets, either one of those. But, you still had millions and however many.
Right.
Billions, millions, however many. It still killed it.
Right. So the NBA, of course, is going to want that matchup. Not to say that the league is rigged, but college basketball the same kind of way. Basketball in general is about the matchups. Like we said, going to the tournament. Everybody talks about Cinderella, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we all saw the numbers when it was San Diego State, Miami, UConn, and whoever else it was in there.
San Diego State, Miami, UConn, and wow.
Yeah, you don't even know exactly. So that's my point, right? And, everybody wants chalk until the Final Four.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds good to have this parity. That's not how this works. It's just not, right? The most watched finals is who? Bird and Magic. You gotta have. It's about the matchups, right? I would guess a wager that the 2012 final with Kansas, Kentucky, that's got some sizzle to it, right? Things like that. But anyway, hey, these playoffs have been great. Denver answered the question: is Djokovic that good? Yeah, he's that good.
Sure is.
And Jamal Murray be a good number 2? Yeah, he can do that. Like I said last week, Denver's just Aaron Gordon is 3, and Michael Porter Jr. is the 4th option.
Unbelievable.
I mean, there you go. But we're going to see that changing of the guard that happens. LeBron is in year 20. Kevin Durant is like at 14, year 14 to 50. Same way with Harden, right? So we're going to see that. Steph's got some miles on it. Remember, it was 2008 when he was dazzling everybody at Davidson. So
he's 35 years old, man. It sounds crazy, but
this is what happens, right? And
Steph is pushing 40.
Right. And that's part of it is the league, it's dynasties, and the roster changes. I mean, that's just how it goes.
And a lot of that with Golden State, I think I might have listened to Bo Bamani today, but to talk about drafting well, they missed on some draft picks. Look, they had James Wiseman for like 2 seconds, and I was like, man, you got to go to Detroit. This ain't working. Kuminga. So these guys supposed to be coming in and kind of supplementing and taking some of the pressure off of Clay and Steph and Draymond. Ain't really work. So now they're gonna be in a maybe a little bit of rough shape, going forward.
Right. And so here's my thing. There should my biggest issue with this new collective bargaining agreement, it's going to make everybody build their team the same way. And for me, there should be a variety of how you do that. If you are not a free agent destination, then you better have a damn good GM and front office. Then you better be able to coach and develop talent, right? And I say that because, as a Lakers fan, again, give us 2 dudes. We'll get 2 dudes to come and we'll figure it out. That's going back to the Minneapolis with George Mikan and Clyde Levelette, 2 Hall of Famers. That's how they won the first 4. Right. Give us 2, we'll figure it out. And so the biggest issue is, and we've talked about this before, owners really don't want to win. And I hate to be the old man yell at the cloud, but I used to feel that owners really wanted to win.
Yep.
Like, even when the teams were owned by big conglomerates, the people involved really wanted to win. You know, the Celtics of the 80s, you got Red Auerbach in the front office. That dude is trying to win.
Mm-hmm.
I believed as a Lakers fan, Dr. Buss is trying to win. GM Jerry West is trying to win.
Mm-hmm.
And so many teams aren't trying to win.
Yep.
There are more bad owners and more bad front offices than there should be.
Mm-hmm.
Talking to Kate about the Chicago Cubs. And among Cub fan right now, it's amazing that the owners that ended the curse have just gotten rid of all that goodwill in less than a decade.
Mm-hmm. That's ridiculous.
6 years after 2016, Cubs fans was out on the owners. Like, it sounds just unbelievable, right? Like, you would think that you were Gucci, right, to end the draft, like Gucci, baby. But they've just done things about making money, but not making the team good. And if you are a fan of professional sports and you've got a competent front office, I mean, that's rare.
Got a leg up, boy.
You know, that's the way I feel about the 49ers. And I say that because I'm looking at these all pros that we're drafting on the second and third day of the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Kittle was a 5th round pick. Hufanga was a 4th round pick. Right? Like, all pro dudes late in the draft, because I've got confidence they know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, but you remember, when we first started doing this show, when I openly admitted I have no idea what the 49ers are doing. No clue.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's going on.
Yep.
But this front office, this coaching staff, I've got faith they know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Let me take a quick, almost before I forget, we got a couple ads we got to play.
All right. Got to pay the bills,
First
man.
one, that's right. First one is called Rotella Resale. It's about 45 seconds. Second one, A&G Adventures. It's a couple minutes. We're just going to get them both in back to back because they come straight from the main man, Ben Sutter. So we definitely going to get them in. So we get these in, and he's going to put them in for the video for everybody that watches. So you get it whether you listen or watch. So here we go.
Rotella Resale, an online superstore with thousands of products in over 50 different categories. Choose from fine jewelry, electronics, tools, die-cast and collectibles, handbags, toys, and housewares, just to name a few. Rotella Resale is bringing back the personal touch to retail. Forget massive websites with numerous sellers or giant box stores. Shop where you are treated like family. We offer free shipping on every order, and if you enter promo code VIDEO at checkout, you will receive 20% off your first order. Visit www.rotellaresale.com. That's www.rotellaresale.com.
Okay, come on. Keep to this side a little bit. That's it. Nice and easy. That's it. Keep to the left. That's it.
So thanks to Rotella Resale and A&G Adventures. And y'all watching and listening, check those out as well. Appreciate Ben for letting us be able to play them on the show. You mentioned your 49ers. Y'all got a Super Bowl hosting coming up. I think in a couple of years. What y'all got another one, right?
Yeah, and I also got an email from the 49ers. If I want to go in on a suite, because if you get a suite, they'll throw the Super Bowl in there. Like, oh, is that all? Okay.
You jumped right on that, didn't you?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Like, who do you think I am? What Brown do you think this is going to? But yeah, I hope the 49ers can get can play at home. I was hoping they would play in Super Bowl 49. I thought that would have been special for the 49ers to play Super Bowl 49. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would have been special. Yeah, sure would have been. Oh. But
you can join the 49ers if you want. But like I've said before, there are just owners that are trying to make money. I gave you trouble for the Cowboys, but I do believe Jerry Jones is trying to win. Like, you may not agree with whatever he's doing, but I know that dude wants to win. I just don't think you can say that about every owner or every front office.
No way to really police it once they get in there, and they can run it in the ground if they want. I mean,
teams, they don't want to spend any money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just...
and that's the thing about baseball. These teams don't want to spend money. Like, you can't tell me that the Padres can do what they do as far as spending, and other teams can't. I'm just tired of teams crying broke. Not when the Washington football team is going for $6 billion.
Yeah.
And they haven't been good in 20 years. Come on, man. I'm telling you, the cat was out of the bag when Sterling had to sell the Clippers, and the Clippers got close to $2 billion, and they've been garbage. It's like, oh, wow. Okay. Stop telling me you're broke.
And who knows how much profit he made because he owned them forever, so he didn't pay nothing for them, comparatively speaking.
And the thing is, all he had to do was be the second team in LA. You can charge higher prices than everybody else, but just a little bit lower than the Lakers. They're not even they're the third or fourth tenant in crypto. I know they're getting their own arena, but they're the third team.
Because this is a lot
when the Sparks start playing.
It's a lot of what is it? What's the word? I don't even know the word. Residual. I don't know if that's right or not. But fans that people move out there that can't afford Lakers tickets, that will go and buy Clippers tickets and kind of rock the Clippers because the Lakers are the Lakers and it's premium. That's premium stuff for them.
At the Lakers games, you get Jack Nicholson and you get Denzel. At the Clippers games, I love him, but you get Billy Crystal.
That's right.
The Clippers are where you see the reality stars. The Lakers is when Anthony Davis can fall in the stands, bust up his lip on Will Ferrell's knee, right? Like that. It's different. It's just different.
Yeah, it's levels. Yeah, you're right. So yeah, the Clippers. I mean, just that. I mean, that'd be a smart business plan. Put a good team together and get the people that can't afford the Lakers, and some of them will genuinely like you.
That's right. Right. And remember, the last 5 years have been as good as it's ever been for the Clippers. I mean,
and that window is probably, Paul George and Kawhi.
Yeah, they're not playing back to back, so they're not going. I mean, it's a wrap, right?
Russ out there still until further notice.
Hey, like I said, Jimmy Butler, we were talking about that. He's put on a show. Miami is we talk about front offices and teams that want to win. Miami, we got to talk about Pat Riley.
Mm-hmm.
Kentucky legend Pat Riley has now been involved in 25% of all NBA finals, which is obscene.
Mm-hmm.
4.7, but whatever. I'm saying 25% as player, coach, and front office person.
Unbelievable.
He's the dude that I don't think we talk about nearly enough in Kentucky circles.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd have to imagine him being the front office is why he's not around more. But we really need to tap into that a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he needs to have we need to really. I mean, he's a Kentucky guy.
Yeah.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But I'm glad the Heat took down Boston.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and shorthanded, Heroes hurt, all these undrafted Gabe Vincent, Caleb Martin, Struce, Duncan Robinson, Jimmy Butler, Bam, and just dudes who got body fat good enough to qualify to be on the team and can hit shots and play deep. I mean, Tatum, Brown, the talent level, but
and the thing about Boston, again, they drop a lot of games they shouldn't drop.
Just ain't tough
They,
enough.
they shouldn't be that bad.
You got no
right?
dog in them, man.
Yeah, when a team pushes back, they ain't got nothing for them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad they lost. To finish what you and JR are talking about, I think the Nuggets got it because that offense is just. I mean, when your 5-man is running the pick and roll, I mean, what do you do? I mean, that's the thing, and we'll look back and scratch our heads on who won the MVP in 2023 because Joker's that dude, man.
And I know you saw it, but as a Lakers fan, when Rui Hachimura is sitting there and saying they're just bigger than us and they shot over us, and he's 6'10", and just how Denver's just bigger and shooting over him. I think Miami is not trotting a lot of size out there outside of Bam. They've been playing small. I love Jimmy. I respected him so much after we remember him in the bubble against your Lakers again.
Yeah, that game 6, or game 5 performance.
Mm-hmm.
People try to discount what we saw in the bubble, and I get it. The biggest reason is because the Lakers won.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody else wins in the bubble, it's not a big. I mean, and that's fine.
Uh-huh.
As I've told you before, I'm a Lakers fan. I get it. The Lakers losing make a lot of people happy. I get it. That's why it doesn't happen very often. So I get that. So you're not going to hear me cry about, oh, people want to see us lose. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that performance was fantastic.
Yeah.
And
love to see him get there with a more full strength kind of squad. Each time he's getting there, he's pretty outman, and he's going to me, in my opinion, he's going to be outman.
Yeah.
Pretty bad start tomorrow, just like he was in the bubble against the Lakers, because it was him trying to go against LeBron and AD. KCP was with y'all then.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was,
The thing is, how is Miami going to defend Jokic?
Yeah.
You can't zone Denver.
Mm-mm.
They got too many good shooters.
Mm-hmm.
So, Bam, and I love Bam, right? Kentucky guy, love Bam.
Mm-hmm.
But, Bam having to guard Jokic, 35, 40 minutes, that's a tough ask.
Mm-hmm. And he's giving up, 3-4 inches and who knows how many pounds.
And Jokic is so unorthodox. I mean, he's killing you and he's not jumping.
Yeah.
And I think for me, that was the toughest part to warm up to with Jokic is usually when you see a player that's dominant, they've got something. There's a move, there's like a physical advantage. I mean, yeah, he's strong, but there's nothing where I'm like, it doesn't wow you till you watch him play.
Mm-hmm. And his passing.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous, right? So yeah, I was slow to the Jokic bandwagon. I get it. I'm here now.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Cause it's like a struggle for him to dunk. He like really has to stretch.
yeah, it's not pretty at all. And so you would think at 6'10", 6 like whatever he is, like literally you should be, but it's a struggle. But
mm-hmm.
the Nuggets have found something, so good for them, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yay, Nuggets! You know, the Heat have become one of those model franchises.
Yeah.
So tip my hat to them. You know, was it 6 finals in 15 years or whatever it is?
Yeah, for Spoelstra, who, I mean, you know, allegedly LeBron didn't want him there when he was on the way out, so whatever. But video guy, the start. And again, you talk about Riley. Pat Riley saw that the dude had it, you know.
Yeah.
And here he is. He's a Hall of Fame coach now. It's like what Popovich and then Spoelstra as far as tenured coaches.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. So it's going to be an entertaining finals. I'll watch it because I think we're going to get one of those Jimmy games where he's like, we're not losing this one.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, so I think Nuggets in 7 or in 6.
That's where I almost want to say 5, but I think Jimmy will get 2. You know, he'll will them to a couple, I think. Yeah.
And for me, that's going to be when we start talking about player legacies. I mean, that's just Jimmy's thing. I'm going to play hard.
Every postseason, he ramps it up, you know.
And again, when you start looking at all-time greats and their games, their packages, whatever, I mean, there's nothing really that Jimmy does that wows you, except he keeps coming for 40 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even the game that game 6 that the Heat lost, you know, him and Bam were shooting terribly, and he gave him a chance to win.
Mm-hmm. Did the Patrick Sparks moment, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I love talking about that Patrick Sparks moment. Louisville fans, oh, he traveled. That may be, but if you're up 32-16, you got to win that game at home. Like,
that's right.
Come on, like you up 32-16 at the half. You got to win that game.
Mm-hmm.
It was a double point lead, you know, with about 5 minutes. You got to win anyway. So yeah, I'm going to be entertained. Like I said, we're going to see that next generation. The thing is, I would caution people against is talking about how wide open the window is for Denver.
Yeah.
The CBA notwithstanding, everybody thinks that the window is wide open.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We all thought that about Oklahoma City.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? You know, and honestly, like JR even said, we thought that about Milwaukee. After Giannis won a couple years ago, we thought, does it look like it now?
Nope.
Middleton
can't stay healthy.
And Giannis
is getting banged up.
Has been in the league longer than you think. Right? Like, you look at rookie Giannis, like I get, you know. So again, when it comes to sports, you think that the window is always open. You know, I always go back to Dan Marino.
Yeah.
In 1984, you could have made all kinds of money because everybody was putting money on like, oh, he'll be back. And it just doesn't happen, you know. And so for me, like, you know, bringing it back to my 49ers, I'm very, like, I know the window's going to close at some point with this group. We've probably got this year and next year, and then the Niners have to make some hard choices because they got to pay a quarterback.
Yep.
We're doing this right now with rookie quarterbacks and Sam Darnold, right? And so
legit put out some money for a change for
you know,
for a QB.
and that's the thing, you know, when everybody's like, oh, they're going to trade, they not trading because you can pay Jusic over fullback salary because you're not having to pay a quarterback. You can make sure that Kittle is, I think, number 2 for tight ends behind Kelsey.
Okay.
Got to pay Bosa.
Yeah.
His deal is getting. You can do that if you're not spending $40 million a year on a quarterback. But that's going to change because at some point you got to.
Warner done got paid already too.
Yeah, he's got paid. I think he's top, and Trent Williams, right? Debo's deal is probably, and that's the weird thing about the 49ers. They're so hybrid that it's just, because Debo was wanting top wide receiver money, but I love you, Debo, but you don't have those kind of numbers. So it's meat in the middle, right? And so I know that the clock is ticking on that.
If a quarterback might give him the ball more, but I don't know. If I'm him,
he did not get top wide receiver money, but he got more running back. So they found a nice soft spot for him.
McCaffrey y'all gonna keep him a while? I'm trying to
remember how his deal is situated, and I'm not 100%. And that's the thing is that when the offense is rolling, you've got all these interchangeable pieces. It's great, right? Like, how is Debo that wide open? How is no one guarding Kittle down the middle? And then, okay, we're just going to run behind Trent Williams. So it's great. Yes. But I know, hey, at some point, even if it's Trey Lance, even if it's Purdy, you're going to have to pay one of them.
Yeah.
Like, they ain't going to get Lamar money, right? Okay, they're not going to get that, but it's more than we've been paying these last couple of seasons.
Got to commit a little more to that position in a couple of years. Yeah.
Right. So,
that's a good position to be in, though, where you're able to have this flexibility with your money and get productivity out of these rookies. And
it's been great.
Yeah.
And like I said, drafting really, really well.
Yeah.
If you can get a Pro Bowl season or an All-Pro season out of a 4th-round draft pick on a rookie deal, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening in San Francisco. So, I don't know. What else do we got to talk about? We got to talk about.
I see a tweet here from a friend of the show, Jack Pilgrim, says, breaking, Antonio Reeves will withdraw from the 2023 NBA draft and return to college. Sources tell KSR will continue to weigh his options regarding a destination. And he quote tweeted himself and said, Antonio Reeves will consider a return to Kentucky, planning to meet with John Calipari in the coming days. NIL and role at the forefront of those conversations. We'll go from there regarding other potential options. So he's out of the draft. Now you're going to meet with Cal about his role and NIL and see if he's going to pick Kentucky or go elsewhere. That's the latest on Antonio Reeves, according to Jack Pilgrim.
Yeah, hey, I'm not worried about it. Like I said, it's kind of dire looking, but tip your hat to Oscar.
Absolutely.
He's an all-time great, which is hard to do at the University of Kentucky.
Yes, it is.
We've had really, really good players that I would not put on that plateau, but it's Oscar. And I understand that the postseason success wasn't there. I'm glad he finally got the one, tournament win to get that monkey off.
Steve Young reference, okay. All right.
I can do this all day. But honestly, I'm thankful that he chose Kentucky.
Yeah. That first year, got there, first half year he couldn't play. He was just practicing, and then came in and, like you said, ultimate effort. Like you said, second year, everybody can, try to find weaknesses. That's the case in any, aspect. So everybody start picking, rolling him to death and that kind of stuff. But, he's still, like you said, constant effort. He's beloved off the court, in the Lexington community, with kids, everything he did. his situation was unique from, he's still thinking about his family in the Congo and weighing his options. Do I go pro and try to go that way? Do an NIL from Kentucky? So I can only record commercials when we're in the Bahamas because of me being from out of the country. So it was a lot of moving parts during his time, but he gave it maximum effort every time he was out there and was a model student in person off the court with it.
Yeah.
And everybody, you type in his Twitter and search it, and there's people, thank you, Oscar, and all the pictures he's taking with fans and old women and young children, and I mean, it runs the gamut.
Oscar enjoyed being a Kentucky Wildcat.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we like our homegrown stars, perhaps a little too much, but I find it hard to believe that anybody enjoyed playing basketball at the University of Kentucky and it meant more than Oscar. I find that hard to believe.
Mm-hmm. It's his first stop, didn't have the greatest experience, and came here and talked about it in his farewell, I think it was an Instagram post, I hope you support me on my journey into the professional basketball, but I hope to make Kentucky my home after, still.
Come on back home, Oscar. Yeah, we love you. We love you. But Old Kentucky home, Coach Nick and the baseball team hosting.
Yes.
Regional. Gonna have a tough, Ball State and Indiana and
West Virginia.
West Virginia. I was gonna say Michigan, but it's West Virginia. Mm-hmm. They can get it done. Get to that super regional.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be, of course, pulling for the Cats there.
Absolutely. Kentucky Proud Park getting a host, and glad to see it. All the scheduling conflicts, I'm happy because Kentucky baseball hadn't been in position to be going on at the same time as Railbird and this concert and this music festival. But hey, I'm glad that these chaotic, hectic, everything happening in Lexington at the same time because baseball is in the mix now. I'm happy.
Yeah, it's like that. The NIT for the men's team, like we did not anticipate Rupp needing to be available during this time of year. It's March. We thought y'all be on the road.
That's right.
But y'all be doing X, Y, and Z. So So I think the Cats can get to that super regional. Mm-hmm. I think they can get the winner of the Baton Rouge regional if that's the case. So why not? The numbers, if you want to believe the numbers, give the Cats a chance to make it to Omaha.
Strength schedule, RPI, toughest conference in America. Half the host sites were SEC. Cities, 16 sites, 8 SEC spots.
Yes,
and so you're battle tested. You can't say you're not battle tested after coming through.
And that Dari, I can't think of his last name, on ESPN does SEC network stuff. Was talking about and somebody's like, "Oh, the SEC is overrated." It's like, bro, they won the last 5 championships. What are you talking about? Mm-hmm. Even the Mississippi schools and Vanderbilt have won.
That's right.
And like 3 out of the 5, one SEC team beat another SEC team. And it's conceivable that baseball is SEC baseball might be tougher than SEC football.
Yeah,
because SEC baseball so you got the 2 Mississippi schools, right? Vanderbilt has won. Mm-hmm. South Carolina has won here recently.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are we doing here, man?
Florida got one or something too.
Yeah, Florida got one. I think in the last few years. Come on, man. Like, I know y'all want to be funny on the internet, but that ain't it, man.
And as proud as we were of this season that Coach Mingione had, because they got out to a good start. We just kept saying stack wins. The schedule's gonna get tougher. They got through all that, and impressive record. Get to host. Get to the end of the season. SEC tournament came. They were in an 8-9 game. As good as they were in a coin flip game against Florida in the SEC tournament. I'm like, what? That tells you what a gauntlet it is, because this great season, and they were at 8 seed in the conference. I mean, it's crazy.
When we had Coach Floreal, the former track coach at Kentucky, talk about, hey, if you're competing in the SEC for an SEC championship, then you know you can compete outside of the league.
Mhm.
Right? That's when he got the women's team to the national runner-up. He's like, oh yeah, I want to say finished second or third in the SEC
Mhm.
to Arkansas that year. I want to say I'm not 100%, but his point was, hey, we can compete here. Oh, we can go out and do whatever.
Yeah.
And we've seen that with different sports as well. Women's basketball.
Mhm.
Hey, you look at what South Carolina has done. What Tennessee has done.
Mhm.
Of course, men's
LSU.
Basketball. How
LSU now.
many teams still use Kentucky as a measuring stick for men's
Yeah.
basketball? Right.
Mhm.
If you can get Kentucky at Rupp, I know the last couple of years been a little bit different, but
Uh-huh.
for the longest time, hey, you can get Kentucky in Rupp. Okay. I
Yep.
mean, don't believe me, believe Nolan Richardson. That's what he told his
Mhm.
94 Razorbacks.
Mhm.
He's like,
Yep.
basically, hey, what y'all have done tonight, y'all can compete for a championship. And they did, right? So hey,
Mhm.
I'm rooting, but I'm not rooting for anybody else in the SEC. Kentucky got to go to Omaha. If they go to Omaha, that's only 2.5 hours away.
Ooh, now you talking now.
So I've already put that. I'm like, hey, they go to Omaha, I might have to road trip it.
Definitely, because that's bucket list and a half right there, man.
Yeah, like I said, Omaha is real close to. It's on the border, Iowa, Nebraska.
Okay.
So about 2.5 hours thereabouts. So I'm like, y'all make it to Omaha, you'll see me there.
TB up in Omaha. That'll work. And then you can check out some Nebraska corn and compare notes to the Iowa corn.
Oh,
it's up in that trash talking about the corn.
Yeah, man. Nebraska versus Iowa corn. We all know Iowa sweet corn is the best.
There you go.
Nebraska's corn is what you feed your livestock. We know that.
That's right. Know your place, Nebraska. Man, we got another fun show. And
Absolutely.
hats off to Oscar. Wish him the best. Thanks to JR, the boss man.
In Kentucky, just take a deep breath, man. It's gonna be fine. I know it looks dire, but yeah.
And we've got games coming up in 6 weeks. TB, you got to go to Toronto. Going to Toronto with only 7 or 8 players, and these teams up there are going to be good. It's not like they can just cakewalk. If I tweeted one of those young fellas in that podcast group, I think Dowell or whatever, if the roster was set, if they were loaded at every position, most of these fans will still find something to worry about. They just move on to something else to be wringing their hands about.
Look, man, from 2014 to 2015, we brought back the national runners-up, added Karl Anthony Towns, among others, went to the platoon system, and folks was still worried. So that's my whole thing is the people crying the loudest, cry about everything.
Yep.
So whatever.
When this cry gets pacified, they just move on to something else to cry about.
It is what it is.
Well,
it's like my dog. He keep moving along.
I don't have to worry about this. Well, let me find something else to worry about. Oh, this is problem solved. Let me find something else to. Come on.
That's what they do.
Anyway, good show, man.
Yeah, always a good show, man.
Absolutely. Appreciate you. BS3 Network will be on the Roku, your YouTube, your Spotify, all your platforms. Appreciate Michelle. She's always putting comments up on the YouTube. She listens and watches us, and she puts comments up on YouTube now. And the episodes you were out, she was like, "Hope you feel better." And I was email came through, comment from Michelle Morton. Oh, Michelle, watching us after she listened to us, and then putting comments up. So thanks to Michelle and everybody else that takes the time.
Number one fan. Yeah, we appreciate it.
So TV, man, be safe. Enjoy your evening. Enjoy the rest of your week. Glad you had a safe trip back home to the Ville.
Yes, sir.
Tell Kate hello. You and Sammy enjoy the evening, and Sammy, be still. Stop moving around so much, Sammy. Just calm down, brother.
Yeah, dog. All he does is sleep.
I'm gonna hit this outro. Thank y'all for watching. We'll see everybody next week on Cats Talk Wednesday.
you.